I'm Steve Craddy. Welcome to Plant City's 2016 holiday video. If you'll follow me into the glass house, I have a lot of cool new things to tempt you with. After a brutal hot summer, we're enjoying the fall, and the holiday season is extra special. I especially enjoy setting up my glass house for this time of year. And this setup actually extends into past winter into early spring. It's my salvation to keep frost damage and ice damage off of my trees. So I'm really excited this year. The trees I have in here are, they're just a notch better than any time before. When you first walk in the glass house, we have our entry-level trees, and they're super cool this season. They've been potted for a good while, so they're super established. I have great helpers who have mastered potting this size tree, and they've really gotten creative in their approaches. This is sort of our do-it-yourself gift bonsai corner. I have some real cute ideas. These Cotoneaster, my grower just timed it perfectly so they'll have red berries. So when you get your 5-inch bonsai pot and slip pot this into the vessel, you won't damage the berries that are there, and it just makes an outstanding gift idea for someone. And here's one just as an example. They just look awesome in the pot. And then moving down, we have some Alberta spruces, and this is a dwarf cultivar. I've been carrying this for a number of years, and we have very good luck with them. Albertas typically don't like it as hot as we are here, but this particular one works out very well. Just have to know a few things to do with it, but it's excellent. And I really bought heavily on these, and they've just been delivered, so I have a lot of them. But I'm really enjoying this year using stones and planting trees in the stone. I mean, they can be actually sort of a lower accent shrub growing out of a rock, which is very cool. They can be like an Ilex pagoda holly that gives you the feeling of tiny foliage and a nice, very cool trunk. And then, of course, the Alberta spruce. And just to show you the way we would place it, is that right? Okay. And the stones that I'm referring to, mainly they're big enough to hold like 3 of these. And it makes a very believable forest. And it's quite affordable. This is a much larger example of a rock planting. I wanted just to briefly mention this. If you're able to come in and select your stone, obviously I'll help you do that. But the thing you look for is you want to have your cavities as deep as you can find on the stones. And my latest group of stones have excellent cavities, so it's very easily to insert a tree in there. And it's just becoming one of the most exciting facets of bonsai. I think I'm becoming like other retailers. I'm planning for my holiday sales way in advance. This year we bought early in the season. We purchased trees actually in late January, and we visited Mr. Ishii's nursery, which is my favorite place to go to purchase trees, pre-bonsai and bonsai. And a great example of his art is right here. This is an Itogawa Shinpaku. And you can tell by not only the bark of the tree, but the design of the trunk of the tree. In this example, you have a radical bend in the trunk. I know you can't see it with full detail, but it's an unbelievable bend. And after the first bend finishes, it keeps bending to the apex of the tree. And the variety is Itogawa, very collectible. Here's an example of a smaller Ishii tree. Even the small ones that are a pencil and a half thick have an incredible interest. They already have that aged look to them. And this one has is sort of a slanted style and already has a very nice tree character. Because I know a lot of my clients like to do their own potting of trees, including choosing a pot and doing the styling of the tree from step one. So I have a good little number of trees that are not in the pots yet, and they are exactly in the form from when I bought them. This right here is an Itogawa. It's a beautiful little tree. It's little, but it's not. The trunk is over 3/4 of an inch. It has great movement and taper. I was looking at this to make sure I was talking about the right plant. And this tree will finish out to be a very small specimen bonsai. This is my azalea corner for this season's video. There are two excellent examples of exposed root style azaleas. One of my favorites. I'm asked that question, how they do it, and I really don't have an answer, but I go to shows and I'm just always blown away by this style. These are Satsuki. Their bloom is a real soft pink. Small sized azaleas, I have a beautiful selection of rukazans, one of my favorite varieties, always has been. I love the tiny leaf. In scale bloom, it's pink, and just makes an exciting gift. And then a few new additions from the fall. This is a Satsuki azalea that has just recently been released out of quarantine. This is one that I wish I could hold on to, but I want somebody else to have it instead. The base is over 3.5 inches wide. The height of the tree is not even 7 inches. So what you have is like almost a pyramid-shaped azalea. It's unbelievable. Another one, it's a new offering for the fall, is another Satsuki. It just has a textbook. It's a monster little tree. In my California travels this year, I visited the Nuccio nursery, and it's really been a blessing of allowing me to carry some varieties that I normally would never be able to find, and especially in raw form. And with azalea classes coming up in the spring, I'm excited that I have a good number of trees that will make very, very nice project trees. This is a Satsuki here that actually blooms a multicolor bloom. Kingsville boxwoods. They've been a part of my life, my bonsai life, since about 1974 when I bought my first one. And they are the elegant bonsai. If you have mainly conifers in your collection, you need a Kingsville to finish that collection. They grow very, very slowly. Starting with a very, very small one, you have a long wait to get to this point here. This tree here is around 30 years old, and I'm offering 3 of these as finished form older trees, and they're a very, very good buy. I did not grow this group of trees, but they're old. They have very few negatives, and all 3 of the trees are just excellent. I do offer some pre-bonsai Kingsville boxwoods, and this is a great example. This is a 15-year-old tree, and it already has a nice full canopy, lots of branch opportunities, just ready to have fun with. I remember in 1974, the first one I purchased was around 2 inches tall. And I remembered, it sort of blew me away that it looked so much like a little old English oak tree, even at 2 inches tall. I think that's why it became one of my favorite trees. And another little throw-in, back in 1974, it was still one of the most expensive bonsai I purchased that year. Let's talk about these Chinese quince. I love quince, whether they be Japanese or Chinese. These are Chinese. These are highly collectible because they're a bit of a challenge. You know, bonsai is about challenge as well as just enjoying them. And one challenge is to form branches, and these are done by a Japanese master in California who actually wired all the branches out. So the bones of the tree, they're there. And at this time of year, we get to realize the beautiful fall color before they drop. And then right about the middle or the end of February, they're going to bloom. They bloom a very unusual burgundy red bloom. And they did that this past spring, and they were just unbelievable. We also carry Japanese quince. They are not very challenging, but the bonus there is they always bloom, and they bloom for a very long time. So they're both species are worth having. My favorite maple will always be Trident. They perform beautifully. They're nearly indestructible. They heal over quickly when you make large cuts on them. So they have really no negatives at all. Here's a very unusual variation, including a very long extended branch. And I love the uniform tiny foliage. And just even in this late date, the fall color is still there. This one is one we purchased in California. It actually lost its foliage earlier. It's a root over rock style, and nice girthy trunk. It's basically a project tree. This tree we're just in the beginning phases of turning this into a very fine bonsai, which it will be. This is an unusual offering. It's a grouping with 3 Trident Maples, and they've been with me for quite a while. And they're Chinese imported trees, very, very dependable, beautiful fall color. Again, this one has already lost its foliage, but it's one of the real pretty ones when it's doing its thing. I'm very excited to offer some smaller Trident maples, a little bit past the whip stage, beginnings of branches, but they're going to be the size you want to grow on or to be the important smaller trees in a forest. And I have large numbers of these booked for the spring. Very excited about that. Still, one of the most popular new varieties in bonsai is the Sharp's Pygmy. In the very beginning, we didn't know about how valuable they would be for bonsai culture, and we know now that they perform beautifully. They have a good, dependable live rate. The leaves stay consistently small. They twig out very nicely. So I'm very, very excited to have this species in many sizes. What I just booked for spring, I'm most excited about, and I have several of these now. These are smaller versions of the Sharp's Pygmy Maples, and this is a great gift idea for someone who enjoys growing a tree. Put a few of these in the ground. In 5 years, you'll have something that's unbelievable. Another excitement for me for this fall season is I finally have a smaller, affordable Japanese white pine. It has the right foliage, the right length, the right setup in the branches, laid out very, very nicely. And they don't have an unsightly graft mark. These are actually grafted trees. but the grafts are done very, very nicely. So very excited about this. This is a program we have going on now, and we'll expand it in the spring.
We appreciate everybody who's made our 2016 a great year here at Plant City Bonsai, and we're wishing you and your loved ones a very happy and safe holiday season. We hope to see you back here again soon. Sandy and Steve, Plant City Bonsai.